In an election year where every statewide seat is up for grabs, and also every member of the legislature, there has been scant attention focused on senior Senator Chuck Schumer's race for re-election. As it stands right now, he has two challengers who have announced. One is a Republican, that's consultant Jay Townsend, and the other is my next guest. Randy Credico is a well-known comedian and drug law activist. He's hoping to challenge Schumer in a Democratic primary. He also has the backing of the state Libertarian Party and maybe the Greens, is that right?
Yes, I think I have a good shot with the Greens. This weekend their convention is being held on Saturday, and I've been invited up to make my case for the Green Party nomination, and with the blessing of the Libertarian Party. So I'll be up for that, and I think it's a good idea. And I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be there, but I'll be following it. But this is interesting. Most people probably, if they know you, might remember you from Mothers of the New York Disappeared, right? New York Mothers of the Disappeared, which was a drug law activist group. Right. And then subsequently, they might know you from your comedy, and they might know you from Fred Dicker's radio show.
Yeah, from some of my stunts, like as Diogenes, the Greek philosopher.
Right, that was covered by Greek TV.
Yes,
if I remember correctly.
I saw it on your website. Yes, Greek and Spanish television. They actually translated the YouTube into Greek, and it was on a lot of their news programs. A lot of people saw that. Okay.
So, and you just actually came from upstate, you said?
Yes, I was up in a little city. First I was in Corning, and then I was in Bath, New York, where I have a couple of people who are going to do petitioning for me there. And then I was up in Cameron, which is on a little foresty area there. Then I was up in Rochester, and some small cities outside of that. And I got a Rochester team of Libertarians and Democrats who are actively going to help me with the petition drive. We have 3 congressional districts, because you need 200 votes or petition signatures in 15 out of the 29 congressional districts, and I'll get 3 out of Rochester with my activists there.
Okay. Chuck Schumer, third most powerful man in the U.S. Senate, well known, has hit every single county, all 62 of them, every single year. I think the last time he was up for re-election, he lost 1 county.
Right.
He's sitting on millions of dollars.
Right.
Why him? Why not run for Senate where you're well known in the city? You probably could do fairly well, I would expect.
Well, I'm going to do that the next time. I may change my mind and run against one of these senators who won't endorse me, move to their district. I was with 4 or 5 senators today who are so afraid of Chuck Schumer. That includes Senator Eric Adams, who I know very well, Senator Ruben Diaz, and a couple of other senators and assemblymen who will not say anything against Chuck Schumer. They're all afraid of Chuck Schumer. I understand why.
He's a powerful guy.
He's a very powerful guy. You take a look at Hugh Carey. When Hugh Carey came out for Obama a couple of years ago, what he did was he stopped the federal plaza in Brooklyn from being named after him and named it after Teddy Roosevelt. He actually stopped the congressional move to name it after this venerable great governor by the name of Hugh Carey, who's 85 years old.
Why then?
Why? Because they're afraid of him, and someone's got to challenge him. Someone had to challenge Goliath. Someone's got to challenge Chuck Schumer. And I just read, I happen to be Italian American, grandchild of Italian immigrants, the book on Mussolini, a bunch of books on Garibaldi. And Garibaldi was able to liberate Italy with 1,000 muskets, and how could you do that in 1860 against the Bourbon troops and the Austrian troops?
Randy.
Okay, it's 2010. He's got $20 million. It's all Wall Street money. He's vulnerable, and I think that the other day he showed up at one of these Democratic club events in New York City, the Broadway Democrats. He showed up, and he comes right up to me. And he grabs my hand. He says, "I know who you are. I know what you're doing." And then he took some of my literature, and he proceeded to stumble through this terrible speech about how he's tightening the grip on Wall Street, when we all know that's a huge red herring, this bill that really doesn't have any substance in it. He's a guy who repealed the Glass-Steagall Act along with Phil Gramm, the senator of Texas.
I know you couldn't.
I got to do some of my. But imagine a senator, right-wing senator from Texas.
Okay, stop.
I want to thank senator from New York, and so they repealed the Glass-Steagall Act, leading 12 years later to the crisis, and he bailed them out.
Randy.
Yes.
No one knows who you are.
Yes, well, you just said a well-known comedian. Larry David endorsed me. I'm getting a lot of, every Democratic club in New York now knows who I am. They've invited me to every one of their endorsement meetings. The word is getting out, and I will be at the convention. I'm not going to get nominated at the convention in Rye, but I will be there. I will get attention there. So will some of the characters I bring along with me.
Wait. What kind of characters are you?
Well, I'm going to do my act there. I'm going to bring some old 5,000-year-old Greek philosopher.
You're going to reintroduce Diogenes.
Because it's a corrupt. The whole Democratic Party has a smell of corruption to it, that they won't open up the process and allow somebody to challenge or at least debate the issues. Because whoever wins the primary will win the election. Who gets a Democratic nomination will win.
Do you expect Chuck Schumer to debate you?
Yes, I do.
He's recognizes you at some Democratic event.
I think when people look at his record, the fact that he supports both wars.
Okay, wait.
Both wars.
What
he
makes
supports
you
the
think
death
he's
penalty.
going to debate you? Have you asked him?
Yes, I asked him. I said once these polls start to tighten up, and my
what are you polling at right now?
I was polling before I even announced back in I think in October at 9%. I think he wrote about it. 9%. His ratings are low. People do not like.
Oh, he's over 50.
He's over 50. He's about 40. So don't go by the Santa poll. Go by the other poll. I had him at 45 or 46. I don't know, but okay. I think that people, when you take a good look at Chuck Schumer, first of all, he doesn't care about the state as much as he cares about his national ambitions. And if Harry Reid loses, it's between him and Dick Durbin, who is the Senate Majority Leader. Yes. He is vying. He is spending all this money on trying to, cozy up to all the other Democrats in his conference.
You have to actually have passed a certain to participate in an official debate like one sponsored by the League of Women Voters, for example. You actually have to pass a certain threshold of polling, of fundraising. How much money have you raised?
Well, about $25,000. But I have a lot more coming down the pike here. I got a lot of money, and plus I've been able to do it. I'm able to get statewide. I spend a lot of my own money. I'm going to be broke when this is over. I'm going to be working for Chuck Schumer maybe, but
somehow I doubt that.
No, as a spokesperson. But no, I think we're doing well right now. We have a huge amount of students from NYU to New Paltz, from upstate New York, the New School, University of out in Nassau. All these students who are going to participate in the petition drive, along with a bunch of activists.
Why not just run for governor? I bet if you ran on the Green Party line, you could get 50,000 and get them back on the ballot.
I think I'm going to get. I want to go after Schumer because, first of all, Schumer, when he said that Gillibrand shouldn't have a primary, I thought that was very cocky, as if he's in the House of Lords and he's bringing in another member of the House of Lords. That's not the way it works. I mean, he is in a body, the U.S. Senate. You look at Robert La Follette from Wisconsin, who broke up the machinery of the Republican Party in the state of Wisconsin by way of primary, and he is a hallowed figure in that body today. Remembered. And Schumer is the flip opposite. You would think that he would be, proposing a dialogue. Let the people of New York State decide. Do you want a guy who supports the death penalty, that supports the war in Afghanistan, the bloodbath in Iraq, the Patriot Act, the repeal of Glass-Steagall? I mean, the repeal of habeas corpus? I mean, he's not a progressive Democrat.
Okay, but you are very liberal.
Yes, I am very liberal. Liberal, yeah.
Well,
not an extreme. I'm not is that you're red baiting me now?
I'm not red baiting you. Yes, this is not the McCarthy era. Right. No, contrary to popular belief.
I just want you to think of Jimmy Stewart.
It's not an invitation.
Jimmy Stewart from It's a Wonderful. I mean, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Okay.
Remember that guy? He wants to see democracy in the state.
That's your last word, Randy.
All right, good. That it?
Yes.
No, I'm ready to answer a question. Go ahead. Yes.
No, that's your last word. We're out of time.
Oh well, I'm sorry.